24th of November, Rabbi Furst, Parsha Hashavua Vayeitzei.
Okay, right. Thank you, Lou. As Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst Yeshiva Samanapsi here in Shlaim Care of Zoom. Erev Shabbos, Parsha Vayeitzei, Shana Tavshin Pei Daled. Okay, we'll start over here. A few things to discuss in the Parsha. Everything is very, very important, but we'll try and touch on a few points. If you want to open your Chumash to, let's see, I believe it'll be in Perek Lamed Aleph.
Lamed
31 somewhere.
Lamed.
We'll start with Perek Lamed Aleph, and I think we'll start with Pasuk Yud Tes, Pasuk Yud Tes.
Yud Tes.
Right, so in Perek Lamed Aleph, Pasuk Yud Tes.
I have it. How about Yud Mem? Why have I got Yud Mem? No, it must be Yud Tes.
Yud Mem.
Good, no, Yud Tes, right. Is that for Lavan, Chalek, Holech?
Yes. Yes, that's right. That is right.
Well, Lavan, Holech. Right, got it.
Okay. Yeah, Lou, would you like to begin reading a bit?
Yes, please. Lavan halach ligzos es so no v'tig nov Rachel es hatirafim asher le'aviha. So Lavan went to shear his sheep, and Rachel stole the teraphim that belonged to her father.
Right. Good. Let's continue on.
Is a avodah zarah?
Teraphim we consider avodah zarah. Correct. That's right. That if you look at Rashi says there, right? Rachel v'signov Rachel esat teraphim.
She intended to separate her father from idolatry.
Right.
Weiter?
Yeah. Next pasuk.
Vayignov Yaakov es lev Lavan ha'arami al beli higid lo ki voreach hu. Okay, so Yaakov deceived the heart of Lavan, the Aramean, by not telling him that he was fleeing.
Right. So you have these two psukim. One, first of all, Rachel stole the truffing, as Rashi says, to have her father be separated, not to be over Avodah Zorah, right? And then Yaakov, by leaving without telling Lavan, he also was, as the pasuk says, Goinev Lev Lavan, right? That because he was, as the fortune say, Lavan thought he was still around, and he wasn't around, and he wakes up one day and he's not. Yeah, where's Yaakov? Where's Yaakov? He's not around anymore, right?
Right.
So just to make one quick comment about this. So we know that Lavan himself, he was a Rama, he was a deceiver, and he was a Ganav, right? So Mida Keneged Mida. Usually the way people act in life is the way people act towards them, right? That if Lavan was an honest person, right? So people would have dealt with him honestly. But you see, Lavan was not an honest person; he was a dishonest person. So you see, dishonest things happen to him.
This is it was put in the Chumash in this way. This was sort of part of the Chumash, I assume, to teach us how we can interact with such people.
It's there. The Torah is teaching us big lessons over here. That's correct, right? There are a lot of lessons here that we learn on how Yaakov acted with Lavan, which is very important because the big test for a person is when he's tested with temptations to do things which may be wrong. Now, when a person's going to be in a group of an environment of tzaddikim, right? It's very easy to remain a tzaddik. But take, for example, the Soyan that Yaakov Avinu faced. He had to flee from Esav, who was menacing him, and he at the instructions of his father and his mother, he went to Lavan's house, and Lavan was known to be a dishonest person, and Yaakov, as you know, Yaakov is the semel, the archetype of emes. Titin emes liYaakov, chesed laAvraham. Titin emes liYaakov. Yaakov is the symbol, the embodiment, the personification of truth. Right, and here he's spending, right? He spent 20 years by Lavan. He was by Lavan for 20 years.
Before that, he spent 20 years in yeshiva.
Yeah.
Obviously, to strengthen himself against Lavan.
Right. I think it was 14 years. 14 years in yeshiva's Shnei Raver. And so you would think that the worst possible situation was for Yaakov to be there and under the influence of Lavan, right? But nevertheless, that was the situation the Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted to place Yaakov Avinu in, right? For him, Yaakov Avinu, each time Yosef Oilim, Titin Emes Yaakov, Chesed Abraham, meaning a man of truth, a man of Torah, and here he is living in and having a father-in-law who's the head of the mafia. Really, the head of the mafia, and having to deal with him on a daily basis. So,
Was he any worse than anybody else around him?
Probably, yeah. He specialized in. I would say he specialized in. Yeah. He was known to be. Yeah, there were some indications from that as well, that the people weren't happy with him because he took advantage of them himself. So. Here we see both Rivka and we see, Rachel. We see Rachel and Yaakov stealing, so to speak, from Lavan, and that's Mida Keneged Mida. Now, so he catches up. Lavan chases after Yaakov. He catches up with him, right? So now here, take a look what it says over here, in pasuk Chavav. Pasuk Chavav.
Kaf Vav. Vayomer Lavan Liakov Meh seesaw, vatignov es levavi, vatinaheg es benosai, kish vuyos karev. So Lavan said to Yaakov, what have you done? That you deceived my heart. And you led my daughters like captives of the sword.
So Laban makes this claim to Yaakov, and look at the expression he uses. He says these are my daughters, right? Okay, true enough, they were Rachel and Leah were the daughters of Laban, true enough, but they were the wives of Yaakov.
I think he said, you stole my children.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Huh? He says right now he's calling them his daughters, right? He says Tignev Esponosa, you've stolen my daughters. But listen, Lavan, my dear friend, my dear father-in-law, you're my father-in-law. What does that mean? You're my father-in-law. That means your daughters are my wives, right? So who do they belong to now, right? They belong to Yaakov. After all, didn't he work for Rachel? Didn't he work for Leah? Right? He worked hard. So what is this false claim that Laban's making that they're his daughters? They're not his daughters anymore. Maybe in terms of lineage, they're his daughters based on the family relationship. But now they're the relationship of wives to Yaakov Avinu, right? That's the truth of the matter, right? So you see Laban is making a false claim here, correct?
Well, no. It is true what he's saying that they are his daughters. It's a supposition that he took them like captives. He doesn't know how they were convinced to leave. So that's a false statement, but not necessarily willfully false, because he doesn't know.
Right.
But the fact that they are his daughters is true.
Right. So you have you have here a perfect example, because I'll say that all sheker has to have some element of truth in it, right? So you have a perfect example here. It's true. You can't claim that they're not his daughters, but if you look at the primary relationship is that they're not his daughters anymore. They're the wives of Yaakov. If you want it to be more accurate, you should. Why did you take your wives and run off with them, right?
But if I may skip to 21.
Pasuk 21, okay.
And Yaakov answered his accusation. Why he did this? He said, because he feared for I said, peradventure, thou wouldst violently take, now this is Yaakov talking, violently take thy daughters from me. He didn't say, would violently take my wives from me.
Which pasuk are you in again?
31.
Oh, 31, sorry. It looked like 21 on the page here.
31, right? 31, right. So if you look there in pasuk 31,
So
right?
Yaakov refers to them as your daughters.
Right. Okay. So that's right. So that's okay. They are, in terms of Lavan's perspective, they are his daughters, right?
But he could have made a stronger case and a slap in the face of Lavan if he called them his wives. Sorry, excuse me. If he called them his wives, which,
Right.
because to Lavan they're his daughters, fine. to him, they're his wives. And
Right,
then
so,
his wives and his daughters.
okay, good. Now, at this point, what, if you take a look at, the next claim of Lavan, Chav Zayin and Chav Ches.
What do we do? Sorry, Chof.
Chav Zayin and Chav Ches.
Oh, yes. I can't see a C.
Let's see. So it says, Lama nach beisa liv roach vatignov as osi below ki gadita li va'a shale chacha
You can see the stuff that is read this.
simcha uve shirim besoch uve chinor. Okay, so why have you fled secretly and tricked me? And you did not tell me. For I would have sent you happiness and song and timbrel and lyre. So he says, I would have made a big party and sent you off gladly.
Right. So you see that he would have his claim, Lavan's claim was that he missed out on the celebration,
Right.
right? He was planning a big would have planned a big bon voyage, a big farewell party, a Sudas Preda, right? And so what was really concerning Lavan here?
I don't think so. I think he's being dishonest.
Okay, hold on one second. Let's go to the next pasuk.
V'lo nitash tani le nashek levanai v'liv nosai ata kis kalta asu. Okay, so it means and you did not allow me to kiss my sons and daughters. You acted foolishly.
So now let's analyze this statement here. He didn't allow me to kiss my son. Whose sons are you talking about? What kind of sons does Laban have? No one's going to talk about sons here.
Grandchildren.
Well, I mean that's not exactly what his claim was at the beginning. Why is he introducing that now here?
He's saying they're my daughters and their children are also my children.
Well, why didn't you make the claim at the beginning?
I don't know.
Okay,
But it's all one statement.
So take a look now. So what is, as we read before in Pasuk 31, what is again, let's look at Yaakov Avinu's response. What was his response?
So he says, V'yan Yaakov Vayomer Lulavan ki yaresi ki amarti pen tigzol es vinosecha me imi. And Yaakov said, because I'm sorry, Yaakov said, Yaakov answered and said to Lavan, because I was afraid, for I said, perhaps you'll steal your daughters from me.
Oh, so here Yaakov is telling the truth about why he did not give any forewarning to Lavan that he was leaving, right? Because he suspected Lavan of wanting to take back his daughters. How do you like that? Now,
It's based on Lavan's prior behavior.
do you ever suspect about a father-in-law stealing back his daughter from a son-in-law? Do you ever think about such a thing like that?
Not outside of this context.
Okay, that's just an example of how deep the criminal character of Laban went. I mean, who would think of doing such a thing like that?
Or maybe it's the extent of the paranoia of Yaakov.
Well, I mean, I think he had reason to believe. I mean, let's take a look what he says now. Take a look. He had good reasons to believe that Laban was going to
Imasher timtza es elokecha lo yichye neged achenu haker lecha ma amidi imadi v'kach lach v'lo yada Yaakov ki Rachel ginavasam. So he says, with whomever you find your gods, he will not live. In the presence of our brothers, everything that is yours that's with me, take it to yourself. And he did not know, Yaakov did not know that Rachel had stolen them.
right.
Now that's interesting. Who are the brothers? In the presence of our brothers, who are they?
So Laban came with his sons, right? Laban came with his sons, and he chased after Yaakov with his sons. I think that's they say that's in Pasuk. 1 second. Pasuk.
Right. I remember that now.
Echav, right? It's Pasuk Chav Beis. Chav Gimel.
Kaf Gimel. He took his brethren with him and chased after him. Yeah.
Right. So this whole episode is revolving around theft, stealing this, stealing that, stealing all. The whole thing is talking about stealing.
Yeah.
Oh, so jump down to Pasuk Lamed Vav.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Rabbi.
Yeah, jump down to Pasuk Lamed Vav.
Lamed Vav. Vayichar Liakov Vayarev Belavan Vayan Yaakov Vayomer Lelavan Ma Pish'i Ma Chatasi Ki Da Lakta Acharai. So let's see. And Yaakov became angry, and he saw, and he took up his grievance with Lavan, and Yaakov spoke and said to Lavan, what is my transgression? What is my sin that you have pursued after me?
Right? You see, Yaakov finally lets love and habit, so to speak. He said, okay, what did I have done wrong? What in the world have I done wrong here?
You accused me of stealing, and now you see I didn't steal. What a chutzpah.
That's right. And so now he continues. What does he say next?
The next thing he says is, Ki mi shashta es kol keli ma matzah mikol kalei besecha sim ko neged achai va'achecha vayochichu bein shenenu. Okay, so because when you rummaged all my things, what did you find from all of my things in my house? Place it here in front of my brethren and your brethren, and let them decide between the two of us.
Right, and if you found anything that's stolen, so okay, you produce it, and then we'll decide the issue. But he knew nothing was stolen. Yeah, in terms of yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's see now.
Yaakov is rubbing salt in the wound here.
What do you mean?
Well, he already said, tell me what I did wrong. So why does he have to go on and say, whatever you found, put it before me? He already made the complaint. Tell me what I did wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. You said I stole, and you looked, you didn't find it. So that's enough. Why does he have to rub it in?
No, I don't think he's saying, well, produce evidence. You made a claim, you couldn't support your claim, produce evidence. That's all, just produce the evidence.
Yeah, but he already said that in the previous sentence, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, he said you didn't find it, but so I'm now he's pushing the point. He's saying if you want to make this claim, you're gonna have, now that you tried to find something stolen, you've not, and you're making, if you want to still continue your claim, you're gonna have to produce evidence. So now what? Now Yaakov continues on. Let's see what he says next.
There, esrim shana anochi imach rechelecha v'i zecha lo shikelu ve'elei soncha lo achalti. These 20 years I have been with you. Your sheep and your goats did not miscarry. And I did not eat from your flock.
So now Yaakov he's extending the claim against Laban. He says maybe you want to make a claim on me over the last 20 years, right? Maybe you want to claim on me something from the last 20 years. Okay, produce it. And he's making claim. And take a look at the next pasuk as well, right?
Grefa lo hevesi elecha anochi achat tena mi yadi tivak shena genuv si yom ugenuv si lila. Let's see. That which was treif, I didn't bring to you. It was my loss. And I didn't steal anything in the day, and I didn't steal anything in the night.
I'm not sure he's referring to his stealing. I mean, anything that like anything, right? Anything that was stolen during the day or the night, I mean, he accepted that loss on his own.
Yes, I think so.
I would bear the loss. Yeah, I bear the loss. If it was stolen by the day or stolen by the night. So in other words, all the losses, the treifas, and the stolen items, the Yaakov absorbed that loss from his profits.
Right.
So in other words, I was very honest with you. I gave you the benefit of the doubt, and now you accuse me of stealing. You rotten no good.
Okay, and he continues on. He's not done yet. Listen to what else he's going to say.
Hayisi b'yom achalani chorev v'kerach b'layla v'tidad shenasi me'enai. What is chorev?
That's the, I think that the, case where it was, um, it was slain, meaning the animals were slain somehow.
Okay, so I was in the day subject to being slain.
Well, no, it says the Hashavua achalni choyrev, meaning he was the korach balayla. This is the efforts that Yaakovina went through in caring for the flocks of Lavan. That there was danger of the sword out there. There was korach. It was cold, but at night,
I couldn't even sleep.
right.
I worked hard for you.
Right, and here now the Mem Aleph, the next one, Zeli Esrim Shana.
Zedli Esrim Shana B'Veisecha Avadaticha Arba Esrei Shana Bishtei V'Nosecha V'Shesh Shanim B'Tzonecha Vatachalef Es Mas Kurti Aseres Monim. Okay, so this for me 20 years in your house. I worked 14 years for your two daughters and 6 years for your flocks. And you changed my wage 10 countings.
Right, that's the Monim, right. As
So,
Rashi said,
what does the changing of his wage have to do with anything?
he changed the contract.
I worked hard for you and you changed my wage.
He was always changing the contract.
Meaning what? He cheated him?
No, boy, I'll pay you that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what was just said.
He said, first he says, I'll pay you this. And then he said, no, I'll pay you that.
He says, I'll pay you back.
I'll pay you that.
Whatever it was to the advantage of your love him to change the contract, he changed the contract to benefit himself.
Okay. So I worked very hard for you. Why is he going into all the details of 20 years and the 14 years and the 6 years? Who cares?
Obviously, Lavan cared. He was trying to show Lavan that, look how good I was. I was a good husband to your flock. I took care of them. I took losses whenever there was a loss, and it was my loss.
He's still waiting for him. Still waiting for him to produce some type of evidence that he stole from him.
Okay, so in other words, it's following on the previous sentence. I took all these losses and I couldn't even sleep properly. And it all went on for 20 years. And in addition to that, you cheated me.
Right. Now you come against me with a claim that I'm stealing from you. So let's see. You have some proof. Let's prove it.
Did they have a in the ceremony of the weddings, and have sort of like that father formally gives away their child.
Yeah, for sure.
So if he did that, what's he talking about?
Well, so this is something you have to realize. Shlomo Melech talks about this initially quite a lot. We know that Laban was a Ramai, right? A deceiver.
Didn't know
Right.
that.
So the first rule about a deceiver is he has to deceive himself.
Mm-hmm.
A liar, to be a liar, really good liar, he has to believe his own lies.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so dangerous to try and talk to a person who's a liar, because whatever you're going to say to him, you're not going to convince him, because he's convinced himself of his lies first and foremost.
Mm-hmm. Right.
As you can see, if you take a look, um, um, let's see Mem. We'll jump. We're going to go to Mem Gimel to prove this point, but let's see Mem Base before that. Pasuk Mem Base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, mem base. Let's see, where is that?
Oh,
Mem
yeah. Lule.
Lule Elo
Yeah.
Elokei
That's right.
Abi Elokei Abraham Ufachad Yitzchak Haya Li Ki Ita Rekam Shi Lachtani Es An Yi the Es Yia Kapai Ra'a Elokim V'yochach Amesh. Perhaps, oh no, if not, my God, the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Yitzchak was with me. You would have sent me away empty. And Hashem saw my wretchedness, and the work that I did. And he admonished you last night.
Right. So here Yaakov says, Yaakov responds to the original question Laban asked, why did you run away from me? Right? So Yaakov tells him that, what, if I didn't run away from you, you would have taken everything away from me. I would have left for you without nothing, without anything. Right? So now we see that Yaakov is given this whole extensive retort to Laban, and he's given various explanations of various different things. And so now he's come to the end of his claims. These were the claims of Yaakov Avinu, right?
Right.
So now let's look at now in Pasuk Mem Gimel. Laban responds. What does Laban say in response to all these claims and proofs that Yaakov made?
Vayan Lavan Vayomer El Yaakov Habanos Binosai v'ha-banim banai, v'ha-tzon tzonai, v'chol asher ata ro'eh li hu v'liv no sai ma e'eseh la ele hayom o livnehem asher yaladu. Okay, so now he proves Yaakov was correct. Because he says the daughters are my daughters, the children are my children, the flock is my flock, everything is mine. So he's proving that this is not only is this what he would have said if Yaakov had stayed, but he's even saying it now. Everything is
Right,
mine. So give me all my stuff and get out of here, you bum.
right. So you see, Yaakov was right. Yaakov was very well justified for leaving, not giving Laban the opportunity to take everything away from him, right? And secondarily, you see that Laban was not in any way convinced or changed any of his opinions based on any of the things that Yaakov said. All the claims that Yaakov said to Laban had absolutely no effect on Laban's perspective of the situation.
But why is Yaakov wasting his wind? We already established that when a person is a liar, you're not going to convince him. And
Right.
Lavan is not only a liar, but he's evil. And certainly Yaakov knows this. It's been 20 years in his house, we're associating with him. So why is he wasting his breath? Why didn't he just say, look, God said no, so go away? Is he trying to impress his own people? That because they're listening and they'll hear his statements and realize he's right?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't really know what what the real kavana was. I mean, maybe he was called Sophie was hoping to have make an impression on Laban. Maybe when faced with the truth, maybe Laban would maybe.
Oh, come on, don't be ridiculous, Rabbi.
Oh, really? Now therefore come thou, let us make a covenant.
Didn't
Right.
want to give. Excuse me, Roy.
Yeah. Yeah. Now he's going to. Now he seems in the next lines to sort of, in a way, back out a bit to make a covenant with Yaakov.
Well, he's saying, look, what could I do? I can't be mean to my children. He's being disingenuous, but nevertheless, he's saying, what can I do? I can't be mean to my children, so let's make a covenant. Really, what he's saying is, God said, God laid down the law. I can't go against God. I know that, so I'm gonna have to cooperate.
Right, meaning would Laban have said this if it hadn't been for the visitation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu with Laban the night before? Would Laban have said this? Probably not.
Right.
Mm.
He was gonna take over. He was gonna kill Yaakov and take everything back.
Right. Yeah, it was so scared him. We couldn't fight with it.
The God of Abraham's going to come and kill me.
How did Lavan die?
How did Laban die? I'm not sure. I can look. I'd have to look it up.
So you have to look at it. It doesn't
Some-
say that it's
some-
not
some-
that important
Some,
here.
some say that he was Balaam, that he turned into Balaam.
He's turned into a Bedouin. Did you say?
Balaam, he was Balaam.
Sorry, I'm saying that again.
The Medrash says that Laban was Balaam. Pinchas killed him in the war of Midian.
I didn't get that.
He's saying Lavan was Bilam, according to the Midrash.
Oh, it was Bilam, right? Oh, I see. Yeah.
He died in the Milchama's Midian. Pinchas killed him. Pinchas a Kohen, he went and killed Balaam.
Hmm.
So some say that was the end of Laban. Something else. That's something else to talk about. So you see. So as I think there are many lessons to learn here of how you are supposed to deal with dishonest people, if necessary. And Baruch Hashem, we don't meet up with too many dishonest people to the extent of loving, but nevertheless, sometimes you do encounter such people, and
Well, we've got a dishonest world in front of us.
well, yeah, okay, that's true. That's why the Torah is giving us these lessons, because that's unfortunately without Torah, so there are no rules, no regulations, and then as we always say, that the kina type of a covered motzias adam min ha'olam, the three major motivations that drive people to do things, kina type of a covered, rear their ugly heads, and these are what things which people are motivated by with them, and without the controlling, subduing, submissive forces of Torah to control these things properly, they just go wild, and then unfortunately we're left with a world which is far from ideal.
Hmm.
Okay, so Hashem should protect us all from everything, and we should have a good Erev Shabbos, and hope to see you all next week. Hashem.
Hey,
Right.
thank you, Rabbi.
Thanks very much. Have a good Shabbos, Rabbi Furst, and everybody else on the other side of that camera.
Here we are.
Right.
This is our- yeah.
Everybody else you guys have a good Shabbat.
Mm.
Okay.
All
Be
right.
well.
Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye for now. Bye.